Have you ever wondered what happened to the Windows version of Logic? Now, it didn't just used to be only Mac. It used to be PC and Mac. And when Apple bought it, they shut down the PC side. And I was going through a bunch of my old stuff this week, and I found these discs. I had never even really looked at them before. I'd gotten them many years ago and used them when I was a student, and then just stored them on a shelf because I graduated into Pro Tools and then Logic and all this other stuff. And I was going through a bunch of my old stuff, and I found these discs and I installed them. And I realized that this was where Logic had originally gone. And so I just want to show you a couple of screenshots from this. I actually installed this in the latest version of Windows this week, and it almost fully works. Blew my mind that it still works after all of these years. There are definitely some quirks about it, and that is just to be expected with something so old working on a new computer. Things like the disks themselves being required to be in as the security measure, but then after you load it up, you have to eject the disk because if you leave the disk in, it prevents the software from working. Some of the buttons and things don't work fully right. However, it was fascinating to see which of the things inside Logic still exist and are still almost identical to how they were all of those years ago. For instance, one of the things that I noticed was the file editor. It's going to look a little different because we have more options, but so many of these functions are exactly as they used to be. And so it blew my mind that it still works. Now, it doesn't work amazing. What I want to do right now is go to the actual video. I want to play you the demo song that came with this. Now, this is Magix Studio 6. So it's not being branded as Logic, but it's clearly what happened with the Windows version of Logic. So check this out. There were minimal plugins, but there was a whole CD full of extra content. And I actually want to get to installing that later this week and seeing what it can do. And I want to actually try to pull some of the original stuff into the new version of Logic just to see what we can do and mess around with. Anyway, just found this little gem I want to share with you. It's pretty awesome being able to see Logic in one of its earlier forms. All these years later, we've come so far. However, so much is still there. Definitely looks like a grandfather to a grandson or something. Definitely related. Anyway, hope you're having a great week. More to come with this. I think we're going to mess around with some of the parts, but we'll get to that later on in the week.